I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Hey everybody, this is Jason Dean with the JoBlo Movie Network. Acting takes a special kind of person to be really successful at it. Oftentimes it may take even more than that, which is why so many of them turn to drugs and alcohol as an uninhibitor. So let's cover our top 10 performances by actors who were allegedly high. Number 10 comes to us from an interview with Patton Oswalt over at Geeks of Doom. Oswalt starred in Blade Trinity with Wesley Snipes, and he shares stories of Snipes' love for marijuana. If you were to believe everything he has to say, you would think literally every moment Snipes is on camera in this movie, he's as high as a kite. After watching it, maybe it's not so hard to believe. At number 9 is no stranger to drug use if gossip and rumor holds true. Jack Nicholson directed and starred in the 1978 movie Goin South and supposedly was hyped up on cocaine for the entirety of the production. A writer for the Daily Telegraph back in 2010 compiled a short list of reviews at the time of the movie's release from such respectable publications as Time, The New Yorker, Los Angeles Times, and The Washington Post, all commenting about his stoned eyes and nasally voice as if his nose was clogged with something.
Como está usted, Senor Moon? Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted?
Number 8 is not going to surprise most of you about drug use on the set. It's the Blues Brothers with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. However, what might surprise you is a statement made by Dan Aykroyd in a Vanity Fair article from 2012 about the production of the movie. He is quoted as saying, "We had a budget in the movie for cocaine nighttime shoots. Everyone did it, including me." I never would have guessed that about him. Number 7 is no secret as his battle with addiction was highly publicized for many years. Of course, I am talking about Robert Downey Jr. In an article from 2003 in The Guardian, he goes on record to say his problems really started back in 1987 with Less Than Zero, where he coincidentally plays a junkie on screen. He took the method acting a bit too far and almost never recovered from it, but luckily he came back for one hell of a second chance career.
Who the hell are you, man?
Here's a weird one. Remember Mike Tyson's cameo in The Hangover? Pretty strange, right? Especially with that singing. Well, there's a reason for that. Cocaine does strange things to people. In an article from 2012 in the Daily Mail, Tyson admits to being high on cocaine for all of his scenes, and even worse, he only did the cameo to get the money to fund his drug habit in the first place. Wow.
Don't make me come back for him.
At number 5 is Ethan Embry from the 1998 coming-of-age movie Can't Hardly Wait. Once again, based on his performance on screen, it may not be all that unbelievable that he was stoned for the entire production. It turns out he actually admits to that in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. He says in the interview, "At the time when we were shooting that, I was the world's biggest stoner. I remember the director came up to me and asked if I was altered, but other than that, nothing sticks out because I was so stoned the entire time."
She reached into her bag and pulled out a strawberry Pop-Tart. The very same breakfast pastry that I was consuming at that moment. What was I to do? How was I to proceed?
According to NY Daily News, they published the details of a TMZ report about ZAC EFRON entering rehab right after filming was completed on the Seth Rogen comedy Neighbors. Now this news doesn't come straight from the mouth of EFRON like so many other interviews on this list, so take this one with a grain of salt. Although it is said it was very common knowledge he was struggling with a cocaine addiction. We may never know for sure.
Where is he? And Michael Keaton's Batman was just like, "Hey, I'm Batman."
No, hey, I'm Batman.
No, dude, no, I'm Batman.
At number 3, we've got a 2009 report from OK Magazine about Nicolas Cage. The movie in question was Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, which features some of the most bizarre Cage moments out there. But apparently, it was just method acting. According to the article, he told reporters he received the script for the movie while in Australia. Having had a sinus infection while there, he ended up seeing a doctor who prescribed a cocaine nasal solution to help clear up the infection. Under the effects of the cocaine, he started making revisions to the script based on his experience under the influence. Okay.
Shoot him again.
What?
Fool. His soul's still dancing.
We all have our heroes, and Princess Leia ranks up there in the pantheon of strong female characters. But Carrie Fisher the woman was maybe not quite as strong as her fictional counterpart. In a 2010 article in The Guardian, Fisher admits to using cocaine on the set of The Empire Strikes Back. She's quoted as saying, "We did cocaine on the set of Empire and the Ice Planet. I didn't even like coke that much. It was just a case of getting on whatever train I needed to take to get high." She had such a bad habit that John Belushi once told her she had a drug problem. Wow.
Come on.
You're imagining things.
Am I? Then why are you following me? Afraid I was gonna leave without giving you a goodbye kiss?
I just assumed it's a Wookiee.
I can arrange that. You could use a good kiss.
And our number 1 is a return to Jack Nicholson, but this time going way back in his career to 1969 and the film Easy Rider. Since the film is about drugs, among other things, there's no surprise some of that occurred behind the scenes. In an interview with the site sabotagetimes.com, Jack Nicholson goes on to say, "We were all stoned the night we shot the campfire scene. The speech about the UFOs looks improvised, but it was actually almost verbatim from the script. Each time I did a take or angle, it involved smoking almost an entire joint." He goes on to talk about that scene in particular and how stoned they all were.
That was a UFO beaming back at you.
So there's our top 10 actor performances while supposedly high. We didn't bother covering the most obvious ones like John Belushi, so tell us some more obscure ones you might know about. I'm Jason Dean for the JoBlo Movie Network, and thanks for watching.